Hi, everyone, and welcome to Transitions on Hunters Bay Radio. Today we're recording at the Nipissing University Bracebridge campus, and today we're doing something new and untried. Instead of recording in our usual satellite studio, we're recording today in our lecture hall. And I have the distinct pleasure of speaking today with Angie Nussey. Hey! Hi, Angie. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Angie is a very talented singer-songwriter, and I became familiar with her through both hearing you do a TED Talk once, I believe that was in Sudbury.
Yes, it was.
And then also YouTubing some of your music and becoming a fan that way.
Nicely done. Thanks for that.
So I'm thrilled that you've been able to join us in the lecture hall today, and we have an audience with us as well. So this is also our first time doing a audience participation show. So, Angie, you're kicking off what we hope to be a new theme on the show. And you're actually our first artist coming to talk about women in music.
I'm very excited about this.
So, Angie, I wanted to chat with you a little bit about what role has music played in your life?
Music's played a very big role in my life. I started playing music when I was a kid. My dad was a piano player, and he used to write little silly songs. But I used to write songs to help me fall asleep when I was really young. And then as I got older, I wrote songs to get over boyfriends. And, you know, when you're just a little kid. And then I just started writing songs as a release for whatever emotion I was experiencing. And then I thought it's just transcended as you get older. I've just sort of used music to release, I suppose.
And so it became a strategy for you. It helped you cope with things. And then at some point it transitioned into a career.
It did. I didn't realize that songwriting was of any importance. So I always loved to sing and play piano, and I thought that I would have a music career. So performing songs that people gave me to sing. And so I moved down south from Sudbury thinking I would start this music career and performing in bars and stuff like that in the Guelph area. And then realized that there was a real I don't even know what it is, I guess, calling for songwriters. And I'd already written so many songs, it just made sense for me to take the songwriter's path. And it just sort of worked out from there.
And that's one of the first things that I noticed about your music and listening to you perform original songs. They aren't just meaningless tunes. Your songs really have a powerful message.
Thanks. I wish I could say all of them are like that, but it's not really that way. I write a lot of songs that turn up, probably 70. I have 40 songs on my phone that are half written, and they'll never be released, but I just write them for fun or what have you. They don't always mean something.
Okay. So it's for fun and also for your career that you write these songs.
It's true. It is. It's hopefully, yeah, it's both.
And you mentioned that also you've really used them as a way of getting through some tough times. Maybe also, do you find they reflect some of the celebratory times in your life as well?
I do, and I have used them to get through tough times. Sometimes I've used them to hold me in times of unhappiness, which is, we were talking about this earlier today. After like 7 years of performing steadily and releasing a few albums, I found myself really unhappy and coming to a place of understanding that sometimes writing songs and even certain songs will hold you in an emotional state that perhaps isn't that healthy for you. If you've already gone past that, what you need to go through. If you've already healed, then why would you hold yourself in that state? So that's just something I consider these days. And that's why my last album has a little bit more inspiration and hope in it, because I'd prefer to not fester the emotional state for too long if I don't need to.
So do you find that your songwriting very much reflects where you are personally in your life at a given time?
What I have found is that it reflects mostly what I want to become. And then I usually fit into the shoes later. And so even with the last album, I'm there. You know how you're sort of there in moments. You know how you want to become, but then you fall back in. And that's sort of what's happened with every album I've released, and with the new one coming. All the songs on the new album are where I want to be going, but yesterday was a perfect example. Like, I just can't hold steady to exactly that state, and sometimes I feel like a fraud, and then some days I'm totally firm in, like, I could release that album today, I feel totally fine, but it just kind of goes like that.
And so do you find that overall music has been a source of comfort for you?
At times. It has been, and like I say, it's also been a detriment. And there was a time where I would only listen to certain songs and only by certain artists. There was a time I couldn't listen to music with lyrics, and I would only listen to very sort of meditative music that wouldn't bring me into any state at all, just sort of giving background sound when I wasn't able to just get, you know how sometimes you can't sit quietly, but I knew I wanted to be quiet. So yeah, I guess what you're asking, I think I do use it for whatever you need, if you can find the right stuff.
So it sounds like you're very attuned to the emotional reaction and the emotional connection that you have to the music and to different sounds. You're very aware of that. I
am, especially now. I don't know if I realized how dramatic it can be, but I do remember a time when I used to perform in Sudbury. I was in this cover band, and I remember I'd gotten off stage, and there was this fight going to break out, and they had this blasting music. It was like AC/DC, and so I'm looking off the stage. I see this fight about to start out, and the manager went to the DJ, and they played this song, and I think it was the Celine Dion song at the time. Do you know that song? My Heart Will Go On.
Oh, yes.
And so we're watching this fight, my band members and I, and you cannot fight to My Heart Will Go On. You just can't. And it was watching the whole energy of that room change, and somewhere in the back of my mind, it just sort of made me think, wow, within minutes, this whole energy shifted to almost embarrassment. And that's how powerful is that? That was, it's kind
that
of one of those
really illustrates the whole cliche of music soothing the savage beast, doesn't it?
It totally can. And it can totally get the savage beast to be crazy too. And that's where I don't think it's just like music's going to save the world. I think music could destroy the world just as easily. It's basically and we've got that right now. We've got music that's promoting violence all the time, and then we have this other side too. And it's all just, everybody's just releasing. We're trying to figure ourselves out right now, and I don't want it to be banned or anything, because I think that it's necessary, but definitely it's not the perfect solution for what's going on.
So it sounds like you're saying music really is a powerful tool, and we need to on some level, be aware of that also.
I do think that we have been aware. It just hasn't been voiced. Most people who really turn to music, they don't even know why they like it. But it's definitely, I've seen people start crying when they hear someone singing, and I truly think those are even just frequencies that they've been missing within their life, that is stirring them and reminding them of their wholeness and of their connection. And that's definitely something that is, I guess, just to be brought to awareness. I think you're right.
Okay. Well, I think this is probably a good time to pause briefly and hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with Transitions and Angie Nussey. Welcome back to Transitions. I'm Anne Wagner, your host, and today I'm here with the lovely and talented Angie Nussey. And Angie, I'm going to leave it to you to play a song now.
Okay, thank you. And we've been talking about mood changing, and this is the perfect song, because I actually think a lot of our rhythms and our beats come from the earth, and even our melodies come from the birds. I think Mozart stole a lot of melodies from the birds. But this is more of an African song, and I find a lot of African music really touches, because they're really grounded. So here we go. It's using a looping pedal, everybody. So you're going to hear the sounds come in slowly. So I'll explain as I go. Here we go. So that was step one. I'm going to add an egg shaker here. Chord, so now I'll put some vocals in. Con quio varenderen sinta friden menguba smiana pocos chimba cambia pomgena frio amore motaxas hinka roja on its way. Quio varenderen sinta friden menguba smiana pocos shimba cambia pomgena frio amore motaxas hinka roja on its way. Quio varenderen sinta friden menguba smiana pocos shimba cambia pomgena frio amore motaxas hinka roja on its way. Throw in some piano. All those words are words for peace and freedom and change. There is a whisper in the air. There is a whisper in the air. Change is on its way, but change is on its way. Change is on its way. Let's stand for something. Let's stand for something. Let's dig our heels in. Let's raise the roof. There is a whisper in the air. A whisper in the air. A whisper in the air. And if you wonder where your voice is, it's right beside your heart. And if you wonder who will listen, anyone who dares, there is a whisper in the air. A whisper in the air. A whisper in the air. change is on its way. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I feel very bad for the group in the audience because they can't hear the actual part. What's going on behind the scenes.
Now, one of the things I can say from having heard this performed live is it's astounding when it's all put together and you hear Angie being her own backup band, and she sounds like multiple people. And all from doing that on your own with your, is it called a pedal?
My looping pedal, yes. So your audience at least will get to hear it, but you didn't get to hear it in here. Sorry, guys, because I have headphones on. But yeah, the looping pedal has been kind of, it's like when you get the game of Tetris, or I don't know, like whatever. It was once the Mario Brothers, that game with those pills. Dr. Mario! I got this game of Dr. Mario in grade 9, and I became obsessed with it for 3 months, and it's very similar to what happened with the pedal. I got the pedal, and I gave it 4 hours of my time, and suddenly I can't stop with the pedal. I love it so much.
And it enables you to do so much as a single performer.
It does. And I love songs that build. I love making something, bringing things together and experimenting with it. When I do live shows, I often do remixes of Dr. Dre and AC/DC and stuff just for fun.
Oh, wow.
Mashup.
So one never knows what we're going to get when we come and see you live then.
You never know. You never know.
And I understand, because I've been listening to Hunters Bay Radio, I understand that you have some upcoming local shows in Muskoka.
I do. At the Griffin. And while we talk, I'll make sure I know which days those are. Or no, maybe just go to my website. That's what I tell my husband to do when he wants to find out what I'm doing. 'Cause I'm like, well, can you go to my website? Because I'm going to go there anyway to find out what I'm doing. So,
And we can make that link on our Facebook page as well, so that everyone can follow what you're up to and come out and see you live as well.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
And so are all your shows yourself as a solo performer?
Not all of them. Sometimes I play with a band, and I'm hoping to do some more, a couple of duo shows as well. But the majority of them are solo still for me. Yeah.
Although you sound like an entire orchestra sometimes.
Well, my goal is to have like Yanni and his whole orchestra just one day just back me up, and that's my goal. Because I love orchestral music. I love strings, and I love choirs, and like any voices together. It's amazing. I also sometimes sing with Tamika. She's from up here. And
Tamika Herod.
Tamika Herod, yeah. And I'm trying to think of who else right now. But yeah.
That would be a beautiful combination. Both of you have very strong and beautiful voices.
Yeah, she's got that soul blues sound. I was thinking of the other artist, and you guys told me about her.
Gina Horswood?
She introduced me to you. Yeah. And I haven't sung with her, but I remember seeing her and being like, wow, she's a star. Like, she's an absolute powerhouse. And
well, that would be a combination I would definitely come out to see.
No, one of these days. We've wanted to. It just hasn't happened quite yet.
Well, I'm just noticing the times. So we're actually running out of time for this episode, but I'd like to invite you back, and maybe we can talk further about what your music means to you.
That sounds fantastic.
So, again, you can reach us on email at transitions@hbr@gmail.com. That's transitionsathbr@gmail.com. And we will most certainly make sure we also post on our website all of Angie's upcoming concerts. Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, girls.
Until next week.